Hey everyone, it's Jacqueline for Pixie Dust PhD. In today's video, we will be doing a brief room tour of our room at the Loews Royal Pacific at Universal Orlando Resort. Stay tuned. Thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate all of your support. And more thanks to those of you who've already hit that thumbs up button to like the video and who have subscribed to the channel. We have a lot of exciting vlog content coming from our theme park fall 2021 trip. You don't want to miss out on any of it, so be sure to subscribe and ring that bell icon to receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. We are spending one night at the Loews Royal Pacific. I think after taxes, it was about $350 for one night. It's a Monday night. Today is a Labor Day in America. I believe once you do 3 or more nights, the nightly rate goes down quite a bit, but it still ended up being $500 or so more than us doing the split stay between the DoubleTree and here if we had stayed the whole time at Loews Royal Pacific. But this is our first time staying on site at Universal. We're really excited to check it out and see if perhaps in the future maybe it will be worth it to pony up and pay to stay on site. This morning we checked out of the DoubleTree across the street and then drove over to Loews Royal Pacific. Parking, I believe, is $28 or $29 a night if you do bring a car. And then I checked in around 8:15 this morning. They do what's called a pre-check-in. Obviously the room wasn't ready. We certainly weren't expecting that, so that's not a big deal. But I was told that they sort of assign rooms as they become available just based on the order of folks arriving. So the earlier you arrive in the morning, the higher chance it is that you'll get your room earlier in the day. I'm filming this during our midday break. It's a little bit before 3 p.m. now, but I did get a text that our room was ready around 10:30 a.m. So we could have come back to the room much sooner had we wanted. We were assigned room 1622. That's over in the Tower 1 section of the resort. We booked a standard king room, and so far I am super happy with everything. The entryway is painted this fun green color. It's a very lush themed resort, which I guess makes sense for Royal Pacific. This specific room obviously could be an adjoining room because we have this door, but we are just using this to store our luggage for right now. We may end up moving the luggage, but honestly, it's a pretty good little spot to store your suitcases. So that's a nice little storage bonus area. Then moving in a little bit, first thing on your right after you come in the front door is a closet space. So here is your typical closet amenities. We have a wall safe. There's an ironing board as well as an iron. Definitely some good space up top for the shelf and down below to store your things. And then I guess it's standard to have 10 hangers, 5 with the belt clips and 5 just standard hangers. Turning around then on the left after you enter is the bathroom area. So there is one sink and definitely some counter space. It's not huge, but it's more than sufficient. And what I like about this is it comes with, you have your soap to wash up. You also get a shower cap, and then you get hand cream and body cream, so a nice lotion, as well as hand and body wash, so liquid soap. DoubleTrees, to my knowledge, don't come with liquid soap, so it's nice to see that. And then you have some disposable cups as well. Obviously, you've got your Kleenex. I thought this was a nice touch. You have some wrapped up Q-tips. Let's see, little packs of 4. And these are tiny little cotton swab packs, so that's fun. And if we're being honest, I'm probably going to take some of these with me and keep them with my travel stuff if I don't use them. Then you have this really nice ornate mirror and then pretty beautiful lighting on either side. You do have a makeup mirror, so there is standard magnification and what I assume is 5x magnification, and it does light up and you can move it to your liking for the most part. So that's a nice perk for sure. Luxury hotel. And then here you have this huge full-length mirror, massive. So again, there's a lot of mirrors in here, which if you have more than one person in your party, that's always nice. Towels and such are stored below the sink, as is the hairdryer. And you have some more storage space down there if you want to store your bathroom things. The bathroom itself does have this pocket door with the frosted glass. And then, I'm not sure if this is standard in all the rooms, but we have a walk-in shower. So there is no tub, just a walk-in shower, but it looks really nice. Multiple options for the water, small shelf to set down your razor, face wash, other things. And then in the little basket, you get color safe shampoo, color safe conditioner, and then a bar of soap. But obviously if you don't want to use the bar of soap, you can bring in the liquid soap from the sink I certainly will be doing that. And then you have this very cute little palm leaf piece of artwork and, you know, standard toilet. But your sink area is totally separate from your shower and toilet area, which of course is nice to aid in people getting ready at the same time. Moving into the main living space, you have your AC control, wonderful. And then here we have our king bed, bedside table, and lamp on either side. This fun piece of artwork, which I think might be printed on metal. It has a lot of sheen to it when you move in the light, or they used some metallic paints, especially in the fiery bits. That's nice. TV. Each side of the TV stand has 3 drawers. These are a little bit small, but I mean, you can definitely fit a decent amount in there. These 2 doors are more important. Here you have your off-brand coffee maker. You get a couple of little pods of caffeinated coffee, decaf, and then green tea, as well as condiments, package creamer. Down here is your ice bucket and cups. And then on the left side of this main cabinet is again your standard tiny little fridge. Technically, I guess, has a freezer compartment, but we all know that doesn't work. So yeah, your tiny fridge is under the TV. Back to the bedside tables. They gave us a little thing of branded hand sanitizer, and that's fun and a sign of the times. Both bedside tables have this electronic setup where you have 1 USB port and 2 actual plugs, and like the lamps and phone and stuff aren't using any of them, so that's nice. And then you have a small drawer as well as a small open space below if you want to store anything there. Moving past the bed, then we have this desk. There's Adam, we're chilling. It's a pretty big desk actually. And on both sides of the lamp, you have, again, the USB and 2 proper plugs. Lamp doesn't use either of those, so that's nice. Another mirror, in case you wanted more mirrors. It's definitely nice for bouncing in the light. Then on this side, we have a couch, and I'm pretty certain that this is a pull-out bed. So I think it's probably a double. It's too big to be a twin. It's too small to be a queen. So I'm pretty sure it's a double. So we booked a king room, and I guess it comes with a double sofa. I don't recall that from the booking, but that's cool. I don't know if I would squeeze 4 people in this room. It definitely feels a little bit smaller than our room at the DoubleTree, but it also feels a lot nicer. So pros and cons. And then the wall behind the bed and behind the couch is this beautiful feature wall. In general, the room has a lot of rich textures. Like, look at how cool that this night lamp is. And this lampshade, also pretty cool. Then, and again, we booked a standard room. We didn't pay for an upgrade. I wasn't told we got any sort of upgrade. We have this awesome pool view. Who would have guessed? So there's these beautiful palm trees, pool's right there. If you tilt this way, you can see that sort of man-made waterway where the boats go. There's like a little fake beach area down there that some people dragged some chairs to hang out in. So yeah, really wonderful view. Unexpected, a very nice surprise. And then just like the DoubleTree, there's 2 sets of curtains. You have your blackout curtains and then your sort of more decorative curtains. There's your basic overview of our standard king room at Loews Royal Pacific. This is our first day on property at Universal, and honestly, this room is pretty nice. The lobby is really impressive and nice. All of the staff have been top-notch, so fantastic, like above and beyond, super kind, really welcoming. Also, I really appreciate that for the most part, they call me doctor instead of Miss or Mrs., which I know is a small thing and kind of an uppity thing, but I do put that my prefix is doctor, so you know, if you're gonna use a title, it's nice when they use the right one. For the most part, I just go by Jacqueline, but obviously in hospitality, no one's calling guests by their first name. I think we are going to shower and probably take a little snoozle before we head out to the parks. It once again has been a very hot day, so it's nice to have the room ready to come back to before that guaranteed time of 4 p.m. Again, if you want higher chances of getting a room earlier, at least at this resort, do your pre-check-in early because it seems like they just go down the line. At least that's what I was told. We'll be sure to report back on how comfortable the bed is and water pressure, and if we use the pool, which I think we might try to tonight because it looks pretty fantastic in another vlog, so be sure to stay tuned to the channel. Brief update on the room and the hotel. So we did both shower pretty quickly after we last spoke for the room tour, and the shower is phenomenal. The water pressure is great, the temperature is great. I really love that little shelf in the back. It makes like washing your feet so much easier. So A++. We have hung out on the bed. We took like a little rest, but it wasn't a full-on nap. The bed does seem comfy, and so I think tonight will be fine. We are also both pretty tired, so I'm sure it's a comfy bed. But yeah, so that's the update on the room. We did also go check out the pool. We were hoping to go down there tonight, sort of after parks, but there's been intermittent lightning in the area. You can see it. It's not super close, but you definitely can tell, like you can see it in the sky. So, you know, the pool is very much weather permitting, and weather's not permitting right now. So we didn't get a chance to really hang out at the pool, but we did walk around, and oh, there was just the lightning flash. We did walk around it, and it looks very nice. A lot of people were enjoying it, but there still were pool chairs. Like, it wasn't overly crowded. So yeah, that was great. We did also have dinner at the main, I guess, restaurant. There's a few here, but it was at the Islands Dining Room. They were participating in a Magical Dining or Restaurant Week, but like month here. So it was $37 for 3 courses. You get an appetizer, an entree, and a dessert. Then we both also did add on a glass of wine extra. After tax and tip, we ended up paying a little under $125. So it was an expensive meal. It's definitely not cheap, but for what you get, it was phenomenal. It was fantastic. They didn't nerf the portion sizes. Like, everything was full size. So we both got a Thai salad to start. It was a full size, like big salad, and it was delicious. It was so good. And then we both also got a bulgogi marinated ribeye steak entree. Is that correct?
Yeah, you got it.
It came with cilantro rice and some broccolini, and it was thin, but it was cooked so well. And I think because it was thin, the marinade came through in a really lovely way. It was so good. It was so good. We both ate all of it, and pretty quickly because it was just so delicious. We weren't even talking hardly any. And then for dessert, you got an Oreo something.
Yeah, it was a yin and yang Oreo cookie. Basically, it was like
but it wasn't a cookie.
Yeah, it was like mousse with a ginger center.
Yeah.
Candied ginger center on top of an Oreo crumble crust.
Yeah, so there was like a thin crust and then like some vanilla mousse and some chocolate mousse,
Right.
But then the center had this like candied ginger. It was so good. That one definitely won. And I got a macadamia nut layered cake that was coated in chocolate. It was also really tasty. It just didn't have as many complexities as Adam's dessert. And certainly like the texture was the same through all of my dessert, which I was kind of surprised about because I thought there would be macadamia nut chunks, but I think it was like a macadamia nut butter. It was still delicious. The whole meal was just, it was so good. I am floored, honestly.
And Magical Dining is quite the deal.
Yeah.
At least at these resort restaurants, which we've gone 2 for 2, getting these full-size portions, $37 per head. You know, these hotel resort prices would normally be probably 50% more easily.
Like the steak we had tonight on the menu, which I think is the same size, is $40 alone. So we paid $37, so less than $40, and then also got an appetizer and a dessert. So yeah, it was so good. Price-wise, the flavor was fantastic. I honestly can't believe that like a hotel restaurant was that tasty. I don't really know much about the Lowe's restaurant group in general at Universal. Maybe they're known for really good chefs and food, but I certainly would recommend it if you can get a deal. Even if you can't get a deal, if you're just sort of tired of sandwiches and like good, but you know, theme park food, I might pony up the money to get like a really nice meal here. I don't think I'd get all 3 courses.
Right.
We don't normally get 3 courses, but yeah, I would come and pay for an entree and a glass of wine and be very happy with my purchase. So there's your update on the hotel. We are checking out tomorrow. I'm a little bit sad just because this is such a nice place and we don't have a ton of time to hang out and explore, but checking out means we are one day closer to Disney.
Yeah, I'm very excited. Looking forward to that, and a busy day tomorrow. So looking to hopefully get some rest tonight.
Yes.
Ready.
yeah, it's going to be a long day tomorrow. So while the pool being closed is a bummer and it kind of ruined our plans, maybe we'll get more sleep than we would have otherwise. So perhaps a blessing in disguise.
We'll see.
Yeah, at least from the little that we know of this one day and the one stay, I have nothing bad to say about Loews Royal Pacific. Everything has been fantastic. The room is great. The shower is great. The pool complex, though we didn't get to go into the pool, we walked around the area. It was beautiful. All of the staff have been phenomenal. The restaurant's great. The location is obviously really good. So
The next day.
hello. So as a last update about the hotel, we figured out the one wrong thing with it. The bed was fantastic. We slept really well. It's currently Tuesday morning, so we are all packed up, and you can text to check out, which is awesome. So we're gonna do that a little bit later. But basically the walls are pretty thin. So, and it's a luck of the draw who your neighbors end up being. Ours were definitely 2 probably elementary school kids, a baby or a toddler, and then parents. And they weren't yelling by any means, but and you couldn't hear every word they were saying, like you couldn't make out the exact conversation, but they were definitely loud. And it definitely woke us up at like 6 a.m. Early park admittance for hotel guests today was at 7 a.m. to studio, so I think they were excited and rushing to get ready for that. And we weren't planning on waking up until about 7. So yeah, that's the one big negative about the hotel. Everything else has been fantastic though. And yeah, we're looking forward to our last day in the parks, but that's what you need to know about Loews Royal Pacific.
Yesterday.
Yeah, definitely something to think about if you want to splurge for an on-site hotel. This is the cheapest, I believe, if not one of the cheaper for sure options of the deluxe category at Universal. So then it also does come with unlimited express pass for your stay, including your full check-in and your full check-out days. So that's definitely something to think about. And we did utilize Express quite a lot today. You can see that in a vlog that we'll post or has already been posted depending, but I'll update you all for sure. But that is surprisingly efficient. I'm not sure if I would pay for it rack rate, but having it being included in the price of the hotel makes it more appealing for sure.
Yeah, they definitely get you with the whole environment, including the boats and the proximity and the express pass. It's a good value add. TBD if it's completely worth it, but
yeah, we'll still have to think about that. I do feel spoiled being this much closer to on property compared to the DoubleTree, which is where we've always stayed in the past, because monetarily that's such a good deal, it's hard to pass up. So we'll have to think about that more later. If you have stayed on property at Universal, at Royal Pacific, or anywhere else, we would love to hear what you think. Honestly, I think we're both pretty impressed with this place. The whole thing has been wonderful, and especially the theming I think fits us very well. It's like tropical and lush and vibrant, and it's just so fun to be in. Hope the rest of your day is super magical, and we'll see you real soon at Pixie Dust PhD.
bye.
Bye.